Are games getting too woke? Or are gamers just getting too sensitive and Karen like these days? A group on Steam has created a list to help players avoid what they call woke games. Some of the games on this list include well-known titles like Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, and Portal. Many games are labeled as woke simply because they feature diverse characters or have LGBTQ+ themes. Avid Gamer, the Cavernacle, pointed out that the group seems to have a very broad and inconsistent definition of what woke means. This has led to debates about whether certain games like Days Gone or Black Myth Wukong should be considered woke or not. There's also confusion among members about games developed in countries with communist governments. He also criticized the group for some of the strange reasons they use to label games as woke. For example, Assassin's Creed 3 is called woke due to what the group claims are historical inaccuracies in its diversity as a game. Elden Ring is considered woke because it allows players to create characters without selecting a gender. Cavernacle argued that you don't have to agree with the political views of a piece of media to enjoy it, pointing out that even though he is a dirty commie, he still enjoys right-wing media like Red Dawn and Splinter Cell. You have to have confidence in your own political beliefs. Casual gaming streamer Hassan Piker also talked about the woke content detector. Woke content is categorized as things associated with the political left, such as pro-LGBTQ messaging, pro-diversity and equity initiatives, and pro-environmental messaging, or the anti-woke snowflake's greatest enemy, DEI. It also lists other themes like pro-immigration, anti-capitalism, and anti-patriarchy messaging, among others. Hassan found some of these themes strange or exaggerated, like the inclusion of anti-human messaging. There is apparently a methodology used to evaluate games for woke content. They categorize games into 3 levels: recommended, no woke themes, informational, woke themes with subtle messaging, and not recommended, woke themes with overt messaging. Hassan discussed how older games can still be considered woke, even if the term wasn't widely used at the time of their release, pointing out that the themes now labeled as woke were still present back then. Sometimes people view older cultural critiques, like labeling Picasso a misogynist, as unnecessary or out of touch. But at the same time, Hassan also joked about his own language choices and explains that calling something gay in a negative way is a homophobic insult. He acknowledged that this was wrong and took responsibility for it. He also criticized people who get overly focused on small details or microaggressions in games, comparing it to seeking out problems like the opposite of what social justice warriors, SJWs, did in 2016, poking fun at how some people view games and call out the double standards of labeling games woke or not woke based on personal preferences. Specific games on the list includes Baldur's Gate 3 and other criticized for woke elements like non-binary options and LGBTQ+ representation. Hassan pointed out how funny it is that certain games are labeled as woke or not woke based on how much the critic likes them. Most people don't analyze games for political themes to the degree that these snowflakes people should just enjoy the game for what it is without overthinking every element. Ultimately, avid gamer Hassan Piker suggested that valuating a game's worth based solely on its perceived political or social content is misguided. Believing that it's okay to dislike a game for personal reasons but focusing only on these aspects misses the bigger picture of enjoying video games as entertainment. People who focus on woke content while ignoring how much they enjoy certain games, regardless of their political themes, are goofy as hell, bro. YouTuber Zach is Gone, who looks like a gamer, criticized gamers complaining about GTA 6 and Star Wars Outlaws being labeled as woke, simply because their protagonists are women of color, mocking the outrage some people express over diversity in video games, pointing out how ridiculous it is to get upset over such representation. He highlighted some of the more absurd reasons why games are criticized. Games can be condemned for things as small as offering non-binary gender options, displaying pride flags, or having inclusive character creators. For instance, Bloon Tower Defense 6 was criticized simply because it includes a pride flag. and Overcooked was put into the informational category because one of the characters is a raccoon in a wheelchair. Zach is Gone also argued that the anti-woke crowd has become just as sensitive as those they criticize. They are so focused on picking apart diversity in games that they lose sight of what makes these games fun and engaging. The video wraps up by encouraging viewers to check out the full list of games for a good laugh. So, what do I personally think of all this fuckery? I think the anti-woke movement is becoming too woke. Bunch of annoying Karens, to be honest, but you do you, I guess.